What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Day Trade with Zay. I'm Isaac, and today we are going to do the trade breakdown for today, Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Today was another day where, on the live stream, we weren't necessarily able to catch anything because the market didn't really give it to us. That was one of the things I had stated, and it was kind of funny because I had some more subscribers who hopped on and wanted to check out the trades, but there was nothing really of note, with confirmations with my strategy that I seen. So it was really like, I seen one thing and we kind of ran with that during the live stream. So let me just go ahead and give you some insight. We've just, kind of recovered from this 17% drop, right? That started from the beginning of the year. We've seen a huge fall off, 17%, about 2,800 pips to the downside, right? And over this past week, January 24th through the 31st, through yesterday, we basically seen price ranging in this zone, right? All throughout this zone, we were able to make some money, and it was a great week for us last week, which you guys could go ahead and check out. But as price was ranging through, I knew that there was a good chance price could either break through to the downside, break the support level, and break down, or it can push up through the upside. But yesterday kind of gave us the indication that it was going to go ahead and move up, right? I thought we would see a rejection here at these levels. We were still able to get, I think catch about 56 pips. And then, with some good money management, we're able to get stopped out, at break even, and price obviously blew up 300 pips to the upside. So now we know that price is actually pushing up here to the upside. Now, I still think it could reject at this level up here. I think we could see a big rejection. But for the most part, I think we are now headed back to the upside. At least over the next couple months, we could probably play in this big range that it fell off from just before the interest rate hikes start, that schedule on March 16th. So right now, let me just go ahead and go into the trade. So this is what I seen when I opened up the charts. I seen that price really just kept pushing up, right? All throughout yesterday, overnight. Price kept pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. And one thing that I did was I wanted to see it on the 30-minute chart. I seen that price, or the 50 EMA here. So I drew this red line here. And I did the same for each chart. Went to the 15-minute, drew the red line here, right? 15-minute 50 EMA, so I could go ahead and have it marked, especially for the people. And then I had the 1 minute, or the 5-minute 50 EMA right here as well. So my biggest thing was yesterday it pushed off the 15-minute 50 EMA, so we could see it do the same thing, especially off of this area right here where we know there's a little bit of supply and demand, right? Resistance, 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 support, support, support. And, we could see a rejection off of this 15-minute EMA. That was really the only thing that I seen. That's really only 2 confirmations, and it's usually not enough. Another thing that I had seen was a little bit of an M forming right here, right? You have the bridge here and then push up and then it comes back down. This is something that I've seen, but I never really take this trade, especially when we're in such a strong bull market. Even if it's a bull trend for the day, that price is pushing up heavy, right? So I didn't want to risk, going against my trading plan, my rules, which one of my biggest rules is never go against the trend. So if the trend is in a bull, stay with some sells, or stay with some buys. If it's in a sell-off market, don't put any buys in. So, I was just trying to follow that. But let's go ahead and drop down to exactly what price did at open. So I did have the 1-minute chart up, and we could see here, this is 6. Let's see if we could get a little bit quicker in here. Alright. So you can see here price is basically forming that, right? And then you see another M here. You can see that just this area had a strong resistance level, right? Resistance, 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 came down. Resistance, resistance, came down. So I knew that there was a chance that it could come back down and we could go ahead and enter a buy at this level here. So at open, we'll be getting to open where, right? Okay, yeah, it did come down pretty quick. So right about here, we're going to get to open. But you can see that price actually broke through right? And broke through this level again, but then it automatically pushed down right here at open. Boom. Came down to the downside. Once it did that, we seen it automatically break the 5-minute 50 EMA, and it broke it pretty significantly, right? There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and broke through it. But this is on the 1-minute chart. What I wanted to see was this right here. So once I seen this rejection off of our level, right, and then this is the 15-minute 50 EMA, I thought that price could actually push up to the upside. The only thing we had to do was break through the 5-minute 50 EMA, and then we had to break through the 1-minute 50 EMA, right? And then we could see price push up to the upside, where I think we have all the way up until this level, right? So price gave us that rejection, and I hopped in on this second candle, I believe. No, it was this candle. No, yeah, it was the second candle. I hopped in here at the second candle. I was hoping to get in a little bit closer here down to the 15-minute 50 EMA, but I wasn't able to do that. But price was able to push up, gave us a nice little, it gave us some hope, right? In this situation, you automatically want to move stops to break even, just because with the market being so volatile, and you know that price, there's a good chance that price can reject this area and come down, because again, this is another resistance to support, resistance, resistance. So this is a key supply and demand area, which I was well aware of, and you know, took some of my position out, but was able to actually get most of it out at about 8 pips, whatever it was at the time. And I lost about $40, $60 or something like that, I think. I didn't get all of my shit to break even as quick as I wanted to, because it did happen pretty quickly. That's basically within, you know, 2 minutes, price broke down to the downside. So here, I stayed away. I knew that price had broken structure because these lows were broken here, right? All of these lows were broken. So I knew that there was a good chance that price could come down, can reverse up to the upside off of this 30-minute 50 EMA. So I waited, and I was pretty patient. I tried to stay on the charts to see if it gave us anything really of merit, but I didn't. And I think it was, yeah, it had to be here. Yeah, just before I took my daughter to school, I seen that price was playing in this area, and I knew that it had to either break out to the upside or break down to the downside. So let me show you exactly what it did here. Stayed inside, gave a quick little fake out to the upside right here, right? Got everybody thinking, and then boom. Right here, playing on top of the 30-minute 50 EMA, right? Kind of broke through. No trades for me taken right here. I thought maybe it was for sure coming down to the downside, but then it started to move back up just on top of the 30-minute 50 EMA. And you could see it kind of stays in this area for a little bit. At this point in time, we're making breakfast and doing all this, so I really didn't take a look at any of this. But I did see that price was sitting now on top of the 30-minute 50 EMA. So this gave me some cause to pause, as I seen, okay, little break here, right? We had this break of structure. Even if it's mini, it's still a small break of structure. But I also seen that this IOC here was being respected. Now when I got into the trade, I just seen that this level was forming a support, and actually drew this out on my MetaTrader 4. Is I seen this level here. Seen what it was doing, right? We kind of have like a head and shoulders gig going, a reverse head and shoulders thing going, and I just went for it, and I hopped into the trade as soon as I seen it, you know, turning bullish into this area, as you can see here. I entered the trade at this point just because if you take a look at the 15-minute. Well, let's go to the 5-minute really quick. With the 5-minute, I just seen that 30-minute EMA is being respected. We're getting a bit of a W. We see some support level being shown right here. I thought that there was a good risk reward just because I was keeping it under the 5-minute candle right here, right? About 22 pips. And I knew even if we seen a reversal, it would probably come at this level, right? Because this is such a strong supply and demand area. So that was all part of what I was thinking, and thankfully it just had a strong push up, right? Let's go ahead and go here. Thankfully, we seen this strong move up and was able to catch 100 pips right here, which, you know, really got the day started for me. Recovered the loss here, patient, had a decent lot size in here. I took some profits at like 60 pips, and then I took the rest of it at 100 pips. And yeah, I thought I was done for the day, right? Seen price rejecting down, and just thought, okay, you know, I think price is going to maybe come down from this area. Maybe it's going to set up a good buy for us down here later. But then I noticed that price was respecting it, still sitting in this area, right? Still rejecting this area, still sitting in this area. And I liked my chances. My stop loss wasn't even 42 pips. I had it just above here, about 22 pips. So basically the same right here, about 22 pips. I think it was about here, about 30 pips on this one. And this one was pretty tight. I kept it just above here because I knew if it broke above, it was probably going to push up to the upside. So as you can see, price showed more respect here. Boom. Right? You see all the respect being shown here. And I'll show you right where I got in. This candle right here is where I got in. On the MT4, these wicks looked a lot meaner, like really strong and prominent. So this is where I hopped into the trade just because I knew that price was still respecting this area, right? Still respecting it. And hopped into the trade. I had a decent sized position. You guys could go ahead and check out the Instagram stories and whatnot. Had a good position. And I knew that price could come up at these levels right here, but I had a good feeling that it was just going to respect it and push down to the downside. We could even see the 20-minute EMA or the 20 EMA crossing over the 50 right here. So I thought it was good to go and possibly come back down because at the end of the day, price broke structure to the downside, right? Maybe this is just a retracement before it continues down, was my thinking. Price came in, still had the stop loss set. Once we got this good push down right here, it was really open season from here, right? Because I knew, okay, you could even see it again if we just draw out the line here, right? We just see that there's a clear level of resistance right here. So with that being said, we rode this down. I rode this down and I took profits at about 54 pips on my bottom position, right? And then I had moved my stops to basically about 5 pips into profit. And eventually I walked away and I was hoping to catch another 150 pips to the downside, but price eventually broke up right above this area here. And I said if it broke above this area, then it's probably going to break up to the upside. And that's eventually what it did. I thought for sure, you know, price could come down, but it just respected the hell out of this area. So once it broke above, it was open season from there for buys, and price eventually pushed up to the upside tremendously. I mean, you could take a look here. Stopped me out. You could see that price sat in this area for a good amount of time and then eventually pushed up to the upside, and it is now what from this area 886 152 160 what is that, about 260 pips, 300 pips to the upside now. And even over the course of us doing this video, it's pushed up even more. So, you know, I think we had a good day of good risk management, taking trades, being patient. Tomorrow, I hope, you know, something is shown right here where price gives us a good sell-off. I honestly think this area right here is good for a sell-off. But we'll go ahead and go over that tomorrow, and I'll tell you why I think that. But, yeah, today was a very profitable day for us. Even though we didn't get it on the live stream, I was able to go ahead and, you know, just play the levels, play the zones, and take what the market gave me. But for the most part, I wouldn't recommend trading like this. I just felt like I was willing to risk it. You know what I mean? I was willing to risk, these 30 pips. I was willing to risk these 23 pips right here, just because I seen what the market was giving me. And that's the most important thing. But yeah, I hope you guys were able to go ahead and take something from this trade breakdown video. Tomorrow we will be on the live stream here on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment, like, if you guys seen anything that you disagree with or agree with, go ahead and comment on the page. And follow the Instagram at DayTradeWithZay. We'll be on tomorrow at 6:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's for the New York session. And we'll see if we're trading the NASDAQ or US 30. And we'll take it from there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a good one.